Everyone. Ooh, welcome. Turn down my music a little bit. Actually, welcome to this week's episode of Rooted in the Real You. Ooh, welcome. Uh-oh. Pardon the technical glitch again.
Welcome to this week's episode of Rooted in the Real You.
Turn that off.
Welcome.
I think I just did it. Perfect. Oh, technology. How I love you. And I don't. Let me give you my name and my website here. Thank you for your patience. Here we are. Well, no, it's my name. That's okay. Thank you for your patience. For those of you who don't know me or haven't been following, my name is Kristen Zegers. I'm a personal development coach. And I work with my clients on adjusting their mindsets and their behaviors and their actions to be in alignment with the true nature of who they are. And I help them set goals, really look at their goals, and make sure that they're in alignment with their true essence, and we make action plans to make those goals and those dream lives a reality. I sprinkle in a little bit of feng shui. I've been a feng shui practitioner for about 13 years, and I bring in some aromatherapy. I've been working with these beautiful natural essential oils for about 4 years, and I do work with my clients to create custom plans that are just for them, and I love it. And this Rooting in the Real You series is brought to you every Wednesday in December at 12:15. You can watch live, and I hope some of you will watch live. It's also available on replay on Google Plus and on YouTube. My YouTube channel is, I think you can just look me up at Kristen Zegers. And you can also go to my website, which is kristenzegers.com, to find links to all the recordings. Today is the 4th of 5 videos, and they're all based off of an acronym that I created called REAL, Getting Real. And the R in REAL stands for relationships. The E stands for our energy. A is for abundance, which we'll be talking about today. And L is for life work, next week's topic. And all of these different life areas work together to create beautiful, full lives when we really take care of ourselves and look within. And that's what I'm working with you and working with my clients on, is turning inward and really digging in to see what it is that you desire in your life, and then really figuring out how you can get there with joy. So for a minute, if you'll allow me, I'm going to be a little vulnerable and honest here. I am coming into this video today live. It's a commitment that I've made, and I'm coming into it after a rough morning of parenting. You know, I have 3 children. They're home from school. My mom is visiting from out of town. The house is a little chaotic. It's just a couple days before Christmas. And this is why I'm doing this. And this is why I stay in integrity, and I'm here to do this, even though today was a little bit hard to get here. And I'm going to be really relying on my notes. I poured my heart into writing this script, and I try to run through it a few times so that I'm not looking at my pages so much, but I'm being real, and this is what I have for today. My heart's a little sad. I can feel I've shifted into a new part of my cycle. My hormones are, you know, different. My energy level's a little lower. It's a rainy day outside. You can't see it. I'm going to close those curtains in a minute because that's awful bright. But, and yeah, and just the struggles of life I was feeling today. So my heart's feeling a little tender. So if I may, I'd like to ask you all to close your eyes and send me a little love, and to help support me in delivering this really important content to you today. So if you would just close your eyes with me and take a deep breath in and out. Oh, and as I do that, I feel my breath enter into my chest and all around my heart. And I'm envisioning a beautiful green light in that space. And I'd ask you to do the same. And with your next breath, if you could just imagine shining that green light in my direction, so that I can receive some of the love, some of that positive, energetic vibe that you have to send my way to lift me up a little bit right now. And I will practice with my breath, just receiving that from you with so much gratitude. And the beautiful thing about this exercise is knowing that this channel actually goes both ways. So as you send your loving light to me, I'm just a mirror and I can reflect it right back to you. So let's take one more deep breath in, and then let's do a line breath out. Stick your tongue out. Let all that stuff out. And open your eyes. Woo! Thank you. I so appreciate that. This bottom third is keeping me from being able to see so much. Thank you. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, one more thing. As challenging as my morning has been, I really want to acknowledge that it might not have been easy for you to be here either. Whether you're here live or whether you're watching on replay, this is a time where it's extremely challenging to give time and energy strictly to yourself. And it's a really important lesson that we need to do that every day. We need to prioritize our own well-being. So I honor the fact that you have taken the time to be here, to learn, and to devote some energy to your own growth and development. That's a really big deal. So thank you for that. I thank you for being a shining example of the importance of doing that, and for tuning in and supporting the work that I do. And so, you know, after this, I am officially done with work for the next, through the holiday, and me and my mom are going to go out to lunch, and I'm going to have a beer. It's going to be great. So, okay, let's get started. I hope today you have your journal and your pen or pencil, because there's going to be a lot of writing today, a lot of work in your journal. So make sure you have that all ready. Make sure you've got a glass of water or a cup of tea or something like that. And we're going to dig into the topic of abundance. Now, if you've been watching these videos for a few weeks, you'll undoubtedly start to see that there's a thread that runs through all of these topics of relationship, energy, abundance, and life work. Because the truth is, it's all connected. All these different areas of our lives are connected to each other. Your relationship, if you're struggling in your relationship, it's going to have an effect on your personal energy level, and that's going to have an effect on your state of abundance and in your life work. It's all connected. So that's something to be aware of. You can't dump all your energy in just one area and neglect the others. Okay, we're holistic beings, we're holistic spirits having human experiences. So it's important to pay attention to all of them and understand how it's all connected. The things that I highlight each week through this series are 4 practices that we can use to create transformation, really meaningful change. I've been weaving them through all these different topics, and these practices are awareness, personal responsibility, self-love, and intention. So you might want to write those down in your journal, those 4 words, so you can continue to reflect on them. Awareness, personal responsibility, self-love, and intention. So jumping into our discussion of abundance, we're going to look at those and see how those words play out with this topic. There's several ways to look at abundance. For right now, we're going to just consider the money piece. That's what a lot of us think of when we think of abundance, is money. So let's bring our awareness to your money. On a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with your current money situation? 1 being not at all satisfied, maybe even feeling some despair, and 10 being fully satisfied, lots of freedom and ease around your money. So go ahead and write your answer in your journal. I think we'd all desire to be a 10 in this area, but most of us are not. So just write that in your journal, where you currently stand on that ranking. Okay, so now let's take a look at the personal responsibility piece. Oh, no matter where you are on that scale, what would you have to do to take you from where you are to a point or 2 higher on that satisfaction scale? So for example, if you're a 5 right now, maybe you've got some debt, you're living paycheck to paycheck, but you're paying your bills and you feel relatively secure in your financial situation. What would it take for you to get up to a 7 on that satisfaction scale? Think about how that would feel. Take a minute to write in your journal about how you would feel if you were 2 points higher on your money satisfaction scale. What would be different? Maybe consider how this could affect your relationships or your personal energy or your life work. We're not talking right now about what it would mean to be a 10, unless you're currently ranked as an 8 or 9, and then that's absolutely what we're talking about. But you have to start where you are, always. So I'm going to set the timer for a minute, and I'm going to stop you. I'm going to close the curtains while I do that. Stopwatch. So go. Write for 1 minute about what it would feel like and how things would be different if you were just 2 points higher on that satisfaction scale in your money situation. Okay, you can stop writing. I hope that felt good. That was a good exercise. Next, we're going to look at personal responsibility. What personal responsibility can you take in making a change? Because you know what? Blaming others, being in victim mode, and offering excuses are low vibrational thinking, low vibrational choices. So what can you commit to begin to reduce your debt? How can you be more mindful in your spending? What boundaries can you set up with the people who are financially dependent on you? Where can you explore opportunities to reduce your expenses, like maybe reducing your credit card interest rate or cutting back on your giant cable package? These are just a few ideas, but I want you to take another minute to write in your journal some ideas of actions that you can take to move you up on the higher on the satisfaction scale. Don't overthink it. You're just brainstorming now. No one's going to hold your feet to the fire here. You're just letting your thoughts flow from your brain to the page where you can see them. Okay, so 1 minute. Go. Got about 20 more seconds. Okay, you can stop writing. Good job. Okay, the third thing I want to introduce here is self-love. Be gentle with yourself here. Your money picture may not be what you want it to be right now, but hopefully you're not a 1 on the scale. You've worked hard, okay, maybe amidst some tough obstacles. You've made good choices, and you're taking care of those that you love. All right, shame and guilt have no place here. And as Maya Angelou said, we do the best we can with what we know. And when we know better, we do better. So take a minute in your journal right now as an act of self-love and complete the following sentence. When I think about my money, I feel proud because. Now, notice if you have self-talk coming up here, because this is real. This is what our society has trained us to think. I need more. I suck at managing my money. I'm not doing enough. I can't get ahead. This is self-love time, people, okay? We're sending high vibrational thoughts and acknowledging that we're doing the best we can with what we know right now. So, keeping that in mind, go ahead with your pen for 1 more minute and complete the sentence. When I think about my money, I feel proud because. Okay, finish on up. Good job. I'm proud of you too. I mean it. Okay, lastly, we move on to intention. Because when we know better, we do better. So what is your intention to learn something that's going to change your money ranking? If you knew what to do, you'd be doing it. So it's important to identify the gap between where you are and where you want to be so that you can set an intention to fill it. Do you need to learn about some options for consolidating your debt? Do you need to get some help with budgeting? Can you recruit some help from a savvy friend to help you sell some of your stuff online? Maybe it's time to start networking to see what kind of work is available in your field that might offer you a higher salary. So I want you to take another minute to jot down some ideas that come to you in your journal. Don't edit yourself, okay? If that voice pops up and says, come on, you're not really gonna do that, you just hush that voice up and write it down, okay? It's amazing when you free write from the heart what ends up on the page. It's so true. And even if your logical mind doesn't like it when you're reading, doesn't like it when you're reading it back, it's so interesting to go back weeks later and to see how you've actually taken some of what you've written and put it into play. It really is. So allow yourself the freedom to just let it flow. Okay, this is just journaling, just journal exercises. So go ahead and for one more minute, jot down some ideas that come to you of what intentions you can set to help fill the gap so that you can begin to do better by knowing more in an effort to bring up your level of satisfaction with your money. Okay? And go. Keep coming up with ideas. Just let them flow out. If you're stuck, keep writing. Even write, I don't know, I can't come up with anything else. Just keep writing until I tell you to stop. Okay, you can put down your pen. Awesome, you guys, good job. So I invite you to look back at these pages this Saturday morning as you're drinking your coffee. I bet that at least one thing is going to jump off the page as an action item that you can take right away. And if that's the case, then do it. And share your revelation on my Facebook page because I want to read about it. My Facebook page, you can find me at Kristen Connolly Zegers, or my business page, which is Root, Bloom, and Soar. So awesome. Woo! Take a little breath, do a little wiggle. Let's get the energy up again. Okay. So now that we've looked at abundance as money, I'd like to talk about other ways we can experience abundance in our lives, because it's not all about money. Being the word geek, if you guys watched, I think it was last week, I was talking about how I'm a word geek and I'm always on my dictionary app. But I hopped on that app again to look up the definition of abundance. The number of atoms of one isotope of an element divided by the total number of atoms in a mixture of the isotopes. No, we're not going to use that definition. An extremely plentiful or over-sufficient quantity or supply. Overflowing fullness and affluence. Affluence itself, which has a definition of a flowing to or toward. Notice the word flow in those definitions. What do you have a plentiful or over-sufficient flow of in your life? I invite you to think of things like love, connections, opportunities, helpful people, gifts or favors. So often we define our success in life by some sort of financial or material terms. But consider the difference in these two scenarios. 1, a person who makes $500,000 a year in a high-level position but has a poor relationship with her partner and kids. She's suffering health issues due to stress and feels trapped to continue doing work that doesn't light her up because she has a mortgage and a car payment and a kid in college and an ailing mother. On the other hand, consider a person who makes $70,000 a year, doing work that's interesting and allows her the time flexibility to spend quality time with her family. She's renting a cute townhouse, and even though the heat just went out, her landlord paid for the repair, and the handyman that came to do the work has a wife who does in-home care for the elderly at a very reasonable price that can help her out with her mom for a few hours a week. Can you feel the difference in those two? It's not all about the money and the stuff and the status and moving on up that ladder that society has told us is the way to go for success. We need to create a new and very personal definition of success for ourselves. That's funny. That's just what I wrote in my notes. Yes, we need to embrace the abundance that is flowing into our lives right now in all its forms. So one of my mentors, Aaron Stutland, suggests I start an abundance evidence journal. Okay, my husband and I started doing this, and we were pleasantly surprised and a little bit embarrassed at the same time to recognize the beautiful blessings that were flowing into our lives without us truly acknowledging them. I'll give you some examples. So we take trips all the time. We travel with our kids, but we only pay for lodging part of the time because friends offer us their vacation homes for just the price of the cleaning fee, or we have friends that live in great locations that we want to visit and they let us stay with them, and other various opportunities that flow to us, favors and gifts. Let's see, also after putting out a request in a Facebook group for a handyman to help with a leak we had in one of our bathrooms, we were introduced to a wonderful man who has lots of various skills and charges a fraction of the amount that the companies that I was otherwise researching charge. My kids go to a public school that's offered so much to enrich their educational experience, special needs services, awesome teachers, all sorts of fun clubs, and a beautiful community of families that are committed to raising strong kids. So much abundance. These are just a few examples in our abundance evidence journal, and it keeps growing. This is the key I want to highlight for you. Acknowledging this flow of abundance, shining a light on it, shifts you from a lack mindset to an abundance mindset. When you're focused on the many blessings in your life, you're actually attracting more into your life. It's the law of attraction. When you're focused on scarcity, what's missing in your life, you're actually attracting more scarcity. It's okay to desire more in your life. It really is. More freedom, more help, more ease, more money. It's okay. But beginning from a place of gratitude for all that you have right now is super important. People have talked about gratitude journals for a long time. It's a practice of writing down a list of things that you're grateful for as a means to raise the vibration of your thoughts and to get out of your lack mindset and into your abundance mindset. This is an awesome practice for sure, but I'd like to introduce you to another way of doing this that I think goes deeper. I can't remember who introduced it to me. I wish I could give them credit on here. So if you watch this and you know who it originally came from, please comment on my Facebook page or on the comment section in YouTube. So what I want you to do right now, again in your journal, pick one thing that you're grateful for in your life. Something that makes you feel abundant, something that you're rich in. Choose that now. I'm going to set that timer for 4 minutes. And I know it seems like a long time, but it's an important piece in this exercise. Get detailed about what you're giving thanks for with this one thing. Think about what having this offers you. Think about the people in the world that don't have whatever it is you're writing about, and what having an abundance of it means to you. Write about things that are somehow connected to what it is you're writing about that adds riches to your life. Let me explain that a little bit more. In preparing for this video, I went through the exercise myself. I chose to write about the gratitude for the food that I buy in the grocery store. Now, in a regular gratitude journal, I'd say, thank you for food. I'm thank you for my family. I'm thankful for my house. And I'd list them all out. But diving deep into being grateful for the food that I buy at the grocery store, I was able to elaborate. And for 4 minutes, I wrote about healthy options. I wrote about proximity and availability, creative opportunity to cook with food, the ability to make food to share, about not ever having to worry about being hungry, and more. Just keep writing for 4 minutes. Okay? And you can start now.
With no escape so let it be. Let my favorite cloud and so forget about the past with me. So if you smile real soon, I'll hear them singing a tune. Can you see, darling, what you're doing?
Okay, you're about halfway. Keep writing. I'm grateful for an awesome music library. Keep writing. Again, if you get stumped, then keep writing. I'm stumped until something comes to you. About 30 more seconds. Okay. Can you feel how that adds so much depth to your appreciation for whatever it was you chose to be grateful for? It's powerful to write down a list of things you're grateful for, or it's powerful to write about one thing for 4 minutes. It's impactful. So I would ask you to consider doing this sometime again. Pick something else and do it later on this week, and maybe even get your kids or your partner to do it as well. And talk about what you discover, and really feel into how the depth of that appreciation and that gratitude. So there's one more piece of the abundant component that I want to talk about, and this is rooted in a quote by John F. Kennedy, which is originally from the Bible. For those to whom much is given, much is required. There's always someone who has less than you. Again, it doesn't mean that wanting more is bad, but sometimes we get so caught up in our own story, our own goals, our own aspirations, that we forget the abundance we already have can be shared. Being of service is a wonderful way to create a sense of abundance in your life. That also goes back to another biblical reference: give and you shall receive. So this begs us to talk about energy again. By giving your good energy, you're welcoming more good energy to flow to you. What you give, what you get back. What you give, you get back in return. There you go. Oh, it might not look exactly the same, but you're making space for good stuff to flow to you. So speaking of space, in my work with Feng Shui, with my Feng Shui clients, we look at their abundance of stuff. Okay, Americans have a big issue with stuff and accumulation. This stuff can bog us down, it can keep us stuck, and it can block the flow of abundant energy coming to us. Things become stagnant. So here's another quote from William Morris. Have nothing in your house that you do not know to be useful or believe to be beautiful. When we intentionally sort our belongings and keep only the things that light us up, we can release everything else. Ideally, it can be sold or donated so that someone else might find treasure in your trash. This practice may create uneasiness for some of us because we hold on to our things for various reasons. Sometimes out of sentimentality, sometimes out of obligation, but often it's a deep-seated sense of lack, a feeling that I might need this one day, and if you don't have it tucked away in your closet, you're never going to find it when you need it. When we're living and making choices from a place of lack, we're putting up a block to receiving all that we truly desire. Our world is abundant. There is plenty for all. If you donate all your clothes in that old size to an organization that supports women trying to get back in the workforce, when you lose the weight, you can buy new clothes. When you hold on to things out of fear, you're not allowing space for love. And an abundance of love is the greatest asset of all. We all know that. So since I mentioned Feng Shui, I'm going to end today's video with a couple Feng Shui tips for abundance. I am creating an offering for the end of this video series that's going to be available through my website. And it's digging into the element of real, relationships, energy, abundance, and life work, and offers details on how you can work with the energy of your home to raise the vibration and open yourself up to receiving what you really want in these areas of your life by mindfully designing your space. It'll be offered on this new website, which is coming up in 2016, so stay in touch with me. So for today, I'm going to share 2 spaces in your home that pertain to abundance. The first is your front door. You should use your front door at least once every day. So many of us don't, but it's the most important place to welcome in abundant energy into your home and to everyone that lives there. So make sure that your front door is well lit, that approaching your front door and your front stoop is safe and clean. Get out and get yourself a fresh new welcome mat. and maybe give your front door a fresh coat of paint or some beautiful flower arrangements or something like that. All with the intention of encouraging a steady flow, a steady and gentle flow of abundance to enter your home and all who live there and visit there. The second place is your stove. Traditionally, in Feng Shui, the stove represents financial abundance. If it's the last appliance on your priority list, maybe it's time to bump it up. Treat it like it is made of gold. We all have our favorite burners, but make sure you use all your burners on your stove. Give them as much equal time as you can. Keep your stove and your oven clean and in good working order. The stove and the oven represent our ability to nourish ourselves and our families. So consider it a symbol of abundance and treat it accordingly. Now that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for sending me your positive energy. I feel so much lighter already. That's healing love energy that came to me, and I'm so grateful. I hope you loved this episode of Rooting in the Real You. If you did, please share it with your friends. The replay is going to be available on Google Plus and on YouTube. Next week, I will be back for the final video in the series, and we'll be talking about life work. 12:15 next Wednesday. So I'd love it if you'd head over to KristenZiegers.com and sign up to receive my newsletters and my musings on inspired living if you haven't already. While you're there, you can also check out the Work With Me tab, and you can explore, if you'd like to explore the topics in this video series deeper and more personally by embarking in a commitment to yourself through life coaching. It's remarkable the shifts that can happen when you let the universe know that you are ready for abundance. And you can do that by signing up, by committing to have me as your partner in creating your dream life. To choose love over fear and know that you are worth it and you are ready, my friend. Thank you so much. I will see you all next week. May you all revel in the simple pleasures of this holiday season, and be safe, be well, be kind. Peace.